Okay, so this one's in the key of A. It's in standard tuning. Just a fantastic song for a rhythm guitar. There's so many cool parts in this song. So I'm not going to waste any time saying too much about it. Let's get right into it. There's about 6 or 7 guitar parts all told in here. A lot of them are doubling things though. But there's 2 kind of main ones, and they're almost the same too. They branch out in certain areas, but we'll go over that. We'll go over the intro first. The intro, both guitars do the same thing. Okay, so I know if you're playing in bands and like I used to in cover bands, you know, you're used to playing this like. You know, that's kind of the way you do it, right? And even before I go too much farther, I know guys will go, yeah, well, I see him play it live, and that's how he does it, and it's true. You know, you do see him play it live, and he does play it that way because, you know, he simplifies it because he's got to sing, right? I mean, singing and playing the parts that I'm going to show you that were recorded, really tough to do, man. Really tough. Okay, so what I'm trying to do is pick off what was recorded on that day, okay, in the studio. You know, it may not be completely perfect, but it's pretty close. Okay, so here we go. First guitar part. Both guitar parts do the same thing. Okay, and we start here. Okay, so instead of it's, you can definitely hear that. Okay, so and then G and here. And I'll just throw in a tip here for the newer guys. So when you're fretting these bar chords and these 2-note chords, a lot of times it's a good idea, especially for newer guys, newer players, to try and get them with one finger. Okay. If you get them with 2 fingers, unless you're really accurate, you've been playing a while. You know, after you've been playing a while, you sort of get that together, and you get them. They sound pretty true like that. But sometimes what can happen is you can you know, mistakenly kind of bend one of those notes, and you can get, you know, you just don't fret it cleanly, and you'll get a waver in the pitch, right? And what happens is if you use one finger, then you don't have that, because you're getting both strings with one finger, right? Either that one or that one. And you tend to get a truer interval there with less wavering, because they're both being, you know, pressed down at the same time by the same finger, as opposed to, you know, that where one can go a little crazy if you're not careful, right? And there's nothing worse than distorted guitar that's out of tune. It's the worst thing ever, right? So in the performance section, I think I did mostly that, but for me, I don't worry about it too much, but because a lot of times I'll just do that. But if you find you're having problems, you know, with those tuning things, Try it with one finger. Okay, that's a tip that you can use everywhere. You know, in all your tunes. That's why a lot of times that power chord sounds so good, right? Now, if you did it like that, you know, with two fingers, and you wind up bending that one accidentally, you know, as opposed to it's just rock solid that way, right? So that's just something to keep in mind while you're going through this tune. Okay, and then we do the lick. And the lick, I know a lot of guys are used to doing it this way. Just real simple. And there's nothing wrong with that, but that's not how he's playing it on the record. On the record, he's bouncing it all off this A string, okay? So it's... Okay? Those obviously are double stops there, right, on the D and the G. Okay, so it's all bouncing off the A. So slowly, it's not too hard to handle. But up to speed, and this tune is faster than you think when you start to play it, right? It's about... And it's heavily muted there, okay? Got a lot of palm muting going on there. Okay, so that's something that you're going to have to work on, because that's a tough one to get. Very fast, okay? So far we've got... Okay, that's the last part of it. So we're here again. And then we're here. Or your little finger. Or... But I find whatever you want to do there, doesn't matter. But try not to do it with two different fingers. You can, like I said, you can run into intonation problems. So both guitars do the same thing there. Later on, that's a section where they'll split and do slightly different things. But in the intro, it's the same. And actually, I think it ends, one guitar ends sharp, just cuts out, and the other one kind of trails, right? That's not a big deal though. Okay, and then we get into the turnaround lick. Right, just open A, E3, open. Little hook on that. Okay, and then I know a lot of guys play it this way. Okay, it's like C sharp octaves, right? And throw the G in there. Just slide it up and down. And I've seen them play it live, and they'll either do that or this. Just those two notes. But on the record, I actually just hear the octaves, okay? So, I don't know. That's just how I hear that, so. Right? And then he goes up the octave. Okay, but you can throw that other note in there if you think that sounds more like it. But all I hear is that octave there. But what is happening is the bass comes in on that second one, on the high one, going. And I think that's what gives it that sound. But whatever you want to do there. I kind of like those because they pop better, and if you've got the bass, doing that bottom part anyways, it works out good. I think, anyways, that's just a discretionary thing. That's how I hear it. Okay, and then we get into the verse, and the verse is just A, C, and D, and those bar chords. But what I do is, a lot of times in a band situation, I won't play all the notes of a bar chord. I'll leave that bottom note out and just play the two note chords, because I find they pop better live, because you got the bass and the kick and everything. And okay, so I'm just playing those two notes. Okay, so the verse, both guitars do the same thing. So it's, oh, and before I go on, coming out of that, one guitar does that all the way through, and then open A and the A chord. Okay, and then the other guitar goes, right? Just E3, E4 into the A chord. Okay, so now the verse. And then we do the lick, okay? And this lick is super key. On the record, I can hear this lick double and also up the octave. And that's what I did on the little demo performance thing at the beginning, is I put that on there too, just for fun. Back in the day, I remember playing this song, and I could never get that. I could never alternate pick that. And I would pull it off, and I'd go like a, you know, stuff like that. And really, it just, you have to pick every note in this one. Okay, you just have to. You'll never get it sounding good if you pull off. It's just not going to work. And there's a little hook in that one, right? Okay. And then the next time it goes down. I'm pretty sure that's bent, but what's happening is that part is overdubbed, like I said, by 2 or 3 guitars, and they hold over. You know, if you're playing it live with one guitar, you got to get right back into it, right? But on the record, you can hear it holding over. It kind of comes down a bit there, right? So that eventually winds up into the chorus. And we're here. Okay, and the first time, the left guitar finishes that chorus off with this. Right, so. Okay, open A to B, and then the C power chord to G. Now you could play that here. Right? But I don't know, that sounds too twangy to me. The tonality of those open strings there don't sound right to me. So I'm pretty sure he's going. Okay, and then the other guitar finishes it off with the normal thing. Okay, so that's the left guitar goes just the first time, okay, but the second cycle of the chorus, he goes back to that. And that's consistent with all the choruses, okay? So I'll play that left guitar part, the whole chorus. Okay? And the other guitar does every time, okay? So that's the difference between the two guitar parts there. Okay, so that's the chorus. Hopefully I'm not going too fast. You know, for the more experienced guys, you'll be right with me. The more beginner guys, like I say, I hope I'm not going too fast, but you can rewind it and stuff too, right? Okay, so coming out of that chorus, now we eventually get into the solo, right? So we're okay, and the solo is really cool. I mean, the lead guitar part it's okay, you know, it's live. I would just play whatever there. I just jam that part because it's not. I mean, it's good, it's great and everything, but to me, it's not super distinctive. But the rhythm behind it really is, and it's really, really nice rhythm playing, really creative. Okay, it shows what you can do with 3 chords if you really know your instrument and you're kind of, you know, you get into the vibe of the song, right? Okay, so here we go for the rhythm guitar behind the solo. Okay, so we're like, it's just 2 A's. Okay, it does that 4 times, okay? Now the 5th time, it starts to branch out a little bit, okay? So if this is the 4th time, okay, the 5th time he does that. Okay, that's just an A power chord. A, E, A, and to a G power chord. G, D, and G. And it's just a 1, 2, 3. And those double up. So it's ba 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 da ba da da. Okay, sort of they're like horn lines played on a guitar, right? If you can imagine a horn section, you could see them playing those parts, okay? So, and then we go back up here instead of down here, okay? So, but that's just normal, that one. And then we do that again, so. Okay, so that whole bit, let's say from the fourth time of the first repetitive thing, we'll do those high bits. So, okay, so then he changes it up again, and we get into this thing where he'll go da 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 da, right? And then this lick, okay, and that is just a chromatic, like, you know, it's like the Jimi Hendrix thing, right? Where Hendrix would play a chord and then jump up to the third, right? But we're just starting there, so. Okay, so we've got a chromatic from A5 up to A7, and then a slide from A7 to A9 to what's that? D7. So ending on the C, right? Okay, so coming out of that. Okay, and then we do again, but only we change the rhythm. So instead of it's, okay, and that da 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 goes the next 3 times. Okay, so that whole part is. Okay, and then it changes again. So instead of going, we're going to go. Okay, and those just alternate 4 times, right? So. Okay, but of course you throw the chord in there too, right? Okay, and then the lick. We get that open A in there, right? So. Okay, so you can keep playing it there, or you could play it down here. Because it's a lot easier to get that open A down here, right? And then we're back into the verse, okay? So you can play it down there, or you can play it up here, as long as you get that open A in there. Okay, and sometimes, you know, you'll miss that A, but as long as you're sort of implying that in there in the rhythm, right, it's good. Okay, so that's the end of the guitar solo part, and then I guess we go back to another verse, and the verse is the same, it does that again. So that thing, right? Every other time, okay? And then we're back into the chorus. And the chorus is the same, okay? It's the one guitar going the first time, right? And then the second time. Okay, and then we do the clicky click thing. But we don't do that, right? So now we're into the ending part. the ending part is really cool. Okay, there's two really different parts going on in the rhythm. Okay, so the left part in the ending, it starts on the F, and we're up here in that form, right? And we does that kind of Hendrixy thing again. So, okay, and up to the G and the same thing. So, and right, and then we do the lick, and then he does another lick here, which is a little bit different. Instead of, he goes, okay, so just F, but double stop, G, right? Okay, so that guitar is always doing that, right? So that whole bit then is and then that just repeats, I think, 3 times. Just F, G, and then A. Okay, so that's that one part, and then the other part, okay, coming out of that, goes. Okay, so he kind of leads that in with that kind of C thing. Okay, so da 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 da. Okay, so we're down here in that kind of, you know, that C sort of shape, but without the A string. Okay. Okay, and then he does the lick. Okay, and he does it every time. And then the ending. Okay, so fantastic song for rhythm guitar, and you know, like I say, if you're used to that, and then you try and do it this way, it's like, whoa! Depending where you're at with your skill level, this song will push you for sure. Okay, it's not nowhere near as easy as it sounds. Anyways, I hope you get something out of it. See you next time.